Hey, it's CT. When I'm not hosting podcasts, I'm living in the real world. I mean, everybody's got to work, right? My job is CS, customer service, solutions, relationships, and generating motivation to keep my team pumped up and connected to every single guest that steps inside that store. This is C.T.C.S. Episode number 23, Person of Suspicion. The transition walk. The day that we go back into CS, customer service. Got to go into the cleared head, cleared heart. The snow, wind, and rain and all that kind of stuff is well behind us. But you know what's in front of us now? What's in front of us is another 3 or 4 inches of snow, which is supposed to arrive starting tonight. Tonight around, I saw snowflakes on the Google weather map starting at about 7 or 8 o'clock tonight. And then it's going to be snowing all day tomorrow. It's wintertime in Carolina, man. You just never know. And you hope this time around the weatherman is wrong. Because I don't know if I can handle 2 weeks in a row of crazed out guests and employees that are just endlessly being pummeled by humongous lines of people needing food. Just arriving at the store, it's like we're picking up right where we left off. I mean, I have to walk 3/4 of a block away just to get into the store. It's packed. It's raining already. Snow is supposed to be coming tonight. Like I was trying to tell people, you got to breathe. You got to breathe. And let's leave last week where it was, and let's create a new, better week. I think the modern-day Ringling Brothers and Barnum Bailey Circus has got to be self-checkout. The way that people try to balance an amazing amount of food in their 2 arms to get over to self-checkout, and they don't drop it. I sit there and just wow. And because when you can stack it up as much as you want in your arms, unstacking it with really no counter space to put it on. I mean, it's like, oh God, something is going to crash here. I make it a point to really make sure to make eye contact with every single guest, whether they're coming in or whether they're leaving. Eye contact, thank you so much for coming in. Hey, how you doing? Learn something about them so that the next time that Rob or Billy or Johnny come in there, even Susie and Samantha, I want to be able to ask questions about that. Hey, how's your dad? And because making contact to me that's more than just customer service. That's the image. That's the image of the store. That man, that store cares for us because they really take the time to get to know who we are. So I mean, even if you're not in the mood to be with people, and you're in there and it's a cold day and there's snow in the forecast, make the eye-to-eye contact and say something to them. Still a little bit rough on the edges when it comes to coworkers having some camaraderie. I'm telling you, we really did have a rough Saturday with the snow and stuff like that, and we kind of got on each other's cases. And even though we did have that little gathering, that group hug at the end, the people that needed to be in that group hug were not in it, and they're here today. And this is, I don't want to be the first one to go up and say I'm sorry, but what does that say about me? I want to be able to come together and we all say I'm sorry or whatever together. I don't, because I mean, if who's going to be the weakest one in a situation like this? Are you familiar with what a doppelganger is? A doppelganger? It's somebody who looks like somebody. I mean, almost like identical, but they really don't know each other. And I just had one of those moments just a few minutes ago. This guy walks in, and I went, Mike, what are you doing? And I walked over, and the guy kind of looks at me kind of strange, and he goes, my name's not Mike. And I realized, wait a second, you're right, it's not Mike. But I didn't explain to him why all of a sudden I was like, I crashed. It's because my friend Mike passed away about 3 months ago. But I really felt like that, now the spirit of Mike was right there in the store with me. He had to stop by and see his old friend. And he came through as a vision of somebody else. Oh, this is nice. A guest has left a gift for me. It's a CD full of music. They were talking about this band the last time they were in here last week before the big snowstorm, and today they've left me this CD, with a little note that says, listen to it and let's have a conversation about this and tell me if you don't feel the same vibe that I do about music and stuff like that. So, thank you. Away from a grocery store, I'm still that radio guy who happens to enjoy music. We've started playing this new game. It's based on, do you remember the numbers? Like bananas are always 4011, tomatoes are 4664. Do you know how to play that things where you don't have to look up the picture, but rather what you do is you see if the number is right. And man, my manager is good, undefeated. Back to these product numbers. I mean, how they can remember that, let's say, a lemon is 5307, which I know is not right. But the thing is, I'm always afraid I'm going to do the wrong thing, because if I type in a number, I think it takes too much time to look up to see if it really is a cucumber or something like that. I would rather just go to the picture and say, yep, that's it. How many, what's the quantity, what's the weight, and things like that. But it's a fun game to play. If you want to play a grocery store game, maybe somebody should turn it into a board game of some sort, where you've got to memorize the numbers of all the produce at a grocery store. Normally, I don't record several days in a row. I've only done that a couple of times, and but because it is a snow day, and I really do want to document what's happening. The snow isn't supposed to hit until something like 3 o'clock this afternoon, but my God, it's cold as hell out here. This is one of those where if it started raining, I guarantee it would be snow. But, if I don't come out here and clear out my head and heart, those guests that are going to be coming in freaking out because the snow is coming down, I've not dealt with that yet, where people only have a certain amount of time to get into the store and get back out there on those messy roads. And this could be that day, because, like I said, the snow is supposed to start at 3 o'clock and will go until about 8 p.m. So that's 5 hours of guests that are going to be right there in front of me, freaking out because I'm not moving fast enough. Walking into the store right now, 31, 32 degrees. There is brine all over the parking lot. The parking lot doesn't look too overcrowded. I don't think people are overly excited like they were with the ice storm last weekend, but people are moving fast though. They definitely are on a mission to get things done. I mean, this brine on the street, everything is blue and white and all that stuff, to prevent slippage. It's got people moving. They said the snow was supposed to hit at 4 o'clock. It's 3:30 now, and guests are coming in. They're moving slow. They are frigid cold. Their hands are cold. They're moving. They know something doesn't feel right, and let it snow. Let's see how things change once that snow starts flying. My thing is, I'll bet you we're gonna have a big rush. But the thing is, like I'm telling my team, you've got to stay cool. They want to get home as quickly as possible. They're gonna be on the edge. Smile, and don't get into deep conversations because they want to get home. As expected, people are a little bit on the edge right now. Over water. We're not low on water, but the big water bottles, the ones that you see in offices and stuff like that, you bring it in and you get like a $5 coupon. And this guy comes in and says, every time I come in here, you guys, I don't get my little sticker, then you guys don't believe me when I go to the cash register. That's cool. Okay, we're going to work it out. And so my goal at that point in time was to really, really work it out, to show him that we, first of all, the machine does not belong to the store. It's in the store, but it doesn't belong to the store, so we're not in charge of everything in there. And so when he comes up to the cash register, my goal was to super serve him in the way of I was going to give him more than just $5 off. He was going to get more than that, and so that he knew that that we still appreciated it and that we were very sorry for the machine not living up to the expectations of what it should be doing. So I love it when, and then afterwards he goes, man, thank you so much, man. It's going to be a great weekend. And it's like, God, that's what I work for. God dang, that's what I do it for. It's always sad when you hear person of suspicion, because you don't want anybody to get caught stealing. But over the radio just a couple of seconds ago, it wasn't person of suspicion. It was 3 people of suspicion. And now it's like, okay, so who's working together here to find out if they can, pull a fast one, and, the hand is quicker than the eye. And so then when they said that the 3 people of suspicion were together and they were on aisle 4, it was like, well, that's interesting. Usually they're not in the same aisle. They're usually broken up. And so I go over to aisle 4. The 3 people in suspicion was a mother and 2 children, maybe 7 years old and 11 years old. And so you get on the microphone and you basically say, security, scan the entire store and send it to the office immediately. And you hope that deters them, that kind of creates a situation where they go, God, we're going to get busted here. And so in watching them for about 4 minutes, they stood in aisle number 4 with a giant basket full of food stuff. And so then they left. They didn't steal anything, but they left. So every time that there's a potential stealing, the people in suspicion, you have to do a report. So probably the main thing that gave away the suspicion was the fact that they've got huge Charmin, a ton of clothing soap, and all cleaning supplies. So that's usually a big signal, and especially when it comes, because each one of these clothing soaps are over $25. And so you have to do a report, and this was $216.35 worth of groceries that could have gotten away if somebody in the store would not have taken notice of what they had in the basket. Regular people aren't going to buy this stuff. They're not going to buy this much of it at all. 7:14 p.m. outside. It's snowing. It's here. So that means all of these rushes and things like that, they're prepared, they're ready. So, and now we'll be inside, and once again, the guests are going to want to get out as quickly as possible, because you don't know how much the accumulation is going to be. Nobody can predict that, but it's definitely coming down right now. It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. A dork moment, totally dork moment. For I'd probably say maybe 4, 5, 6 weeks, I've been having the hardest time with my vision. And I thought, oh my God, I got to get to the doctor. I can barely read these numbers. And then it occurred to me today, I'm wearing a mask. When I'm breathing, because I'm moving around so much, the air isn't moving through the mask. It's going up around the top of the mask into my eyes. I'm drying my eyeballs out with contact lenses. So I go and get the lens thing, and now I can see. I'm still blown away by the Frito-Lay, the Fritos shortage that's going on. For months, 2, maybe 3 months, we've been low on Fritos, or we have no Fritos. I mean, there's such a run on Fritos right now. And of course, I come up with the excuse of, well, it's because everybody's making chili. Well, of course, that's exactly the reason why that they want to do that. So but really, there is a Frito-Lay shortage. I'm telling you, the greatest drama that you can fall witness to is the last 15 minutes when a grocery store is open, because everybody's got a beautiful excuse, and people are still buying way over what they should be buying. And then what happens is that like the one that we had tonight, he only had 90 cents, but he had $21.05 worth of groceries, and he didn't know what to do. He says, can't I just have it for the 90 cents? And you just want to whip out your wallet and pay for it. And so, but if I do that once, then he's going to expect it twice and 3 times. And so he went back through the store, found some other food, still with the 90 cents. And this time around, when he came up, and he had like $4.36 worth of food. And it's 5 after 9. We've been closed for 5 minutes. You just do it. You just hear in your heart, just do it. Just do it. He obviously needs it more than what I think that he needs it, and my opinion doesn't count. Let's get him the food. Day number 3. The snow came last night. The drive home was treacherous. I mean, it took me over an hour to get home. Near my house, there's a hill, as we call it, Heartbreak Hill, because 90% of the time when it snows, we're not going up that hill. But last night, I was pushing the engine pretty hard to get up, just get to the top. My wife went to work on a 2-hour delay today. I'm headed in now. It's like 26, maybe 27 degrees, snow on the ground. And before I leave for the store, I got to do a transition walk. And there's multitudes and layers going through my head today. So, because I want to make sure that when I'm in front of the people there today, I've got to be mentally on my best behavior. Do you remember a few episodes back where the police department as well as the fire department had to come to the store to get somebody who had barricaded in the bathroom? That guy is back. And he's been through the store now 3 times today, and he's definitely back on something. So now we're on alert. The employees are on alert, and we have to make sure that security and everybody like that knows what's going on because of the conditions that we were in before. Keep you up to date. Person in question is on the bread aisle right now, and he has his arms full, and he's talking to himself a lot. He keeps shouting something about, get me off your email. Guys, he knows we're on him. He knows that we're watching him. What he's doing is he's trying to figure out a way to get out, and he's moving over to door number 2. Did you just see what he just did? Guy, here's the thing. He took that empty cart and he threw the food in it. He didn't calmly put it in there. He threw the food in there. I don't know if he's going to make a run for one of the doors or what he's going to do. But he's hunkered over that thing like he wants to run on something. Make sure that we've got people at the doors, and he's got to know that we are watching him. The MOD is doing the right thing. And that is, they're trying to go over and build up a conversation with what's going on. And that's, you build a conversation. It's kind of a pretty cool way to build up a relationship, to find out, what could be going through their mind, and you don't want to go into a fear factor type of thing, and then and do any type of damage, because remember, this is the guy that locked himself up in the bathroom, and the fire department had to come and get him out of there with the police department. So the MOD is over there having a conversation right now. So contact has been made, and he's kind of put his food back into the buggy or the basket, and he's just standing there. And what happened from that point forward is that he took the bread back, came back with a different loaf of bread, left everything there except for the loaf of bread. Now, here's the funniest thing about this whole situation. An hour goes by, and he brings the bread back to customer service after he purchased the bread, because he says, I needed to buy milk. And it's like, wow, what? It's like a game of trying to, I don't know if you're not going to get under our skin, because we're always going to super serve you, but all of this because of a loaf of bread. And he did have us wondering if he was going to steal it, because we had experiences with him. I'm over in the water section, and hanging out, there are little extra things that we sell. They sell beer pong sets, and the child, maybe 5-6 years old, and is asking the mom and dad, why are those cups there? I mean, who drinks from a cup that small? And having them explain the beer pong game to the child. He goes, they didn't say beer, they just said people like to bounce the ball into the cup, and the child just did not understand it. But it was very funny to see how innocent they tried to make it all look, trying to explain beer pong to a kid. And that's it. They said it was going to snow on Friday, but we didn't know what the impact was going to be on Saturday. Would it be the same impact that we had last week with the ice storm? Didn't know. What was the mindset of the people going to be? Because 2 weeks in a row with this kind of winter weather in the Carolinas that's unheard of, man. I think we can just breathe now. Tomorrow's just a regular day. So let's just breathe, take it all in, and get ready for some playoff football action.